Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Fielding Learning podcast and Fielding English. I'm your host, Maria. I have been living in the United States since 2016. I'm from Brazil. So, today we are going to dive into some of the unique and sometimes surprising cultural quirks of the United States of America.
And hi there, everyone. I'm Eric, Maria's husband and co-host. The U.S. is filled with idiosyncrasies. And if you're new to the country, it can be overwhelming to navigate everything from social norms to everyday habits.
Exactly, from the way people live, shop, and celebrate to these small things that may seem unusual at first glance. There's so much to learn about American culture. It's not just about the big things like holidays or traditions, but also the everyday routines and practices that make life here a little bit so distinct.
That's right. So whether it's the convenience of drive-through fast food restaurants, how people interact with neighbors, or the way things are bought and consumed and discarded, the US has its own set of customs that might surprise people who are coming here from different cultural backgrounds.
In this episode, we will explore some of those quirks and offer a better understanding of what it's like to live here in the United States of America and why these customs exist.
That's right. So let's help you get a better grasp of American culture. Let's jump in.
So the first one, we're going to be talking about cheaper electronics and discarding them frequently.
That's right. So the first thing you notice is electronic items like radios and TVs and tablets are much cheaper than other countries, which encourages people to constantly buy the latest one, constantly upgrading and getting new ones, especially when there are big sales around holiday times like Christmas or summer sales.
Yeah, people here, they tend to replace rather than actually repair devices. In Brazil, for example, we love to repair things. We have a repair place for iPads, for electronics, TVs, microwaves, for many things. So here, they pretty much don't repair things, and this also contribute to environmental concerns because it's a lot of waste, right?
Yes, that's right. So you can go to a store like Walmart or similar stores and see brand new TVs, large TVs, for only $100, $130. Those are unheard of prices that we wouldn't have seen decades ago. So no one's going to repair a TV.
Yeah, in fact, I think we are actually giving away a
Yeah,
TV.
we're actually giving away a TV now because we just don't want it.
Another thing is about frequent car purchases. Not is not our case, but many Americans they change cars every 2 years. Like every few years they change their cars, often through leases or keep up with technology, right?
Yes, that's right. So in some cases, it's to get new safety features, but mostly people just want to have a newer car. So when you're out at stores and shopping malls and various places, it's very common to see almost every car is from the past 2, 3, 4 years. You don't see too many 10 or 15-year-old cars. We have one older vehicle and then we have one newer one, but we don't think it's really prudent to be buying new cars every couple of years when our cars work perfectly.
Yeah, for example, I would say is a huge difference because, as you know, most of my families they don't even have cars in Brazil, and when people buy cars in Brazil, they tend to stick with the car almost forever because it's so expensive there to have a car that it's unbelievable. So it's a huge difference.
Yes. So what's next on our list?
So the next one is like everyone here has a washer and dryer. And So most of the household have personal washer and dryers. It's like a basic convenience, not like in Brazil. In Brazil, we pretty much we have just a washer, and it's not with a high technology like here. And yeah, it's like here is so convenient, right?
Yeah, and we noticed this in other countries too, in traveling to Panama and Costa Rica. So in all of Latin America and South America, dryers are not really common, but something here, a dryer might only cost a basic dryer $300-400, and at the most, $1,200, $1,500. So you're finished with a load of laundry in the washer. So why not just throw it into the machine that's right next to it, press one button, and just like that, you have beautiful and dry clothing.
And if you're lucky, when you buy or rent a house, pretty much it comes with a washer and dryer, which is totally different from Brazil.
Yes, that's right. When people move, most of the time they do not take their washer and dryer with them or even their refrigerator. They leave the appliances back at the house they're leaving.
And that is actually our next topic, because most kitchen come with appliances, come with a dishwasher, microwave, oven, stove, and it's definitely the opposite in Brazil. You don't get a kitchen with all appliances.
Well, even more than that, aside from the basic appliances like dishwasher and stove and microwave, people are always buying extra appliances for their kitchen. So whether it's a pressure cooker, waffle maker, a coffee machine, of course,
Air fryer,
an air fryer, there are a blender, there are countless extra appliances that even a toaster, an old-fashioned toaster. So people have so many extra appliances in their kitchen beyond the ones that are connected to the wall.
yeah, it's totally different
Too
from
many.
Brazil. Yeah, we don't have that many. The next thing that we want to talk about is about used houses. We actually even said that the used houses or new houses come with appliances here in the USA, come with the washer and also dryer.
That's right. And they also come with other stuff too. So, for example, when people move out of their house, they don't take their curtains, they don't take their
Shower heads.
shower curtains and their shower heads and the fixtures. They leave all that stuff. The ceiling fans are left. The shades and the blinds. You leave those things, and the next homeowner gets to get them. And when you're marketing or trying to sell your existing house, you'll put into the advertisement, this house has upgrades of blinds and curtains and things like that. And it's like a selling point that helps people feel that they're moving into a house that's basically ready for them to just move in and enjoy it.
And again, it's focusing on convenience for everyone. So I think Americans like convenience.
Yeah, people love convenience. We have more
most.
topics about convenience, but basically they want something that is called, the word is turnkey. So you just turn your key and you move in, and then everything is already there. All the appliances, all the curtains, and you just bring in your stuff and maybe your furniture, and then you're set.
So how about more shoes? I don't know you guys, but Americans tend to have a lot of shoes, a collection of everything. Just to say, because so shoes, they have collections of shoes, collections of many things.
And shoes in general, during the time I've been an adult, have become cheaper and cheaper. So 20 years ago, 25 years ago, a pair of shoes might be $140, $160. Now, of course, you can buy shoes that expensive now, but for the most part, you can get shoes for $20, $40, $50. And because they're made in foreign countries, the price where labor costs are less, the price of shoes is very low. So what people tend to do is just buy another pair. So you need a pair of blue shoes.
And brand, so good brands, because in Brazil it would be like Nike, for example. In Brazil, people love to buy those, but it's so expensive, and it's like you have to keep, and we wash in Brazil. We wash our shoes. That is another difference over here because it's so cheaper, so easy to buy shoes that people, they wear their shoes, and then when it's, too dirty, they
Just
throw
buying
them
up
away.
there. People do not normally wash. When I got married to Maria, I was surprised at how often Maria likes to wash shoes. So if we go even now to the beach or do a hiking trip, when we come back from 2 or 3 hours, I mean, the shoes seem a little dusty, but normally I wouldn't wash those, but we tend to wash shoes more often.
I do watch. And speaking about buying things, so let's talk about Amazon. Like one-click buying is the thing that the people do the most over here, right?
Yeah, so basically, Amazon is the most common example where you're constantly recommended products based on your purchase history. And it's so easy. I mean, I do it all the time, especially when we're buying things for our son. And now that it's Christmas time, I mean, you do some searches on the website and the algorithms say, hey, you were interested in this type of coloring book or whatever, and here's 30 or 50 of them to choose from. And then you just click one button and then it's delivered right to your house. But what we've noticed, because we order from many different companies, is that now they all do the same thing. So if you want a delivery by Walmart or by Home Depot or by Target or Kohl's or Shoe Carnival or any of these companies, they do the same thing that Amazon does. And in most cases, they will not charge you delivery costs.
So now one thing that I want to also share with you guys is because it is so easy to buy things over here, but it's also so easy to return items. And sometimes when you return, they reimburse you, they give the money back, and they don't even want the product.
Yes, that's right. So approximately 25 or 30% of all online purchases are returned. And because of the cost that companies have of processing the returns, warehousing, finding ways to dispose of them, many times we will click a button and say, hey, we don't like this, it's the wrong size or whatever. And then the company will say, thank you, we'll refund your money, but just go ahead and donate it yourself. And we do not want the item. It happens to us a lot, and it's happening more and more often.
Now in Brazil, it's really hard to return stuff. Pretty much you are stuck with your item. And that's why people are really careful. They're buying new items. Now, buying, right? We are talking about buying. Here also the credit card payments are really high here. People have credit cards easily over here, especially it's easier than Brazil. So most of the times I'm comparing with Brazil because it's where I'm from and I know where the things that are there. So credit cards here are widely used, often result in significant consumer debt.
Yes, that's right. So I don't know the exact number, but it's possible an average American might owe $20,000 in credit card debts at any one time. And because they might have 3 or 4 or 5 credit cards, they just basically purchase on, one time and the next one another time. But now the amount of cash money that people would carry around to pay for things like for groceries or for restaurants is just not there. People do not pay so much in cash, but credit cards is just so easy. And, the mentality or what people think is, hey, I don't have to pay this for months, maybe for years, and I can just make the minimum payment. So I think it's a dangerous trend that has happened in the United States for at least 30 years, but it's getting worse and worse.
Yeah, and it's really easy to have credit cards. Credit card companies, they send to your address all the time. You are pre-selected to have the MasterCard, Visa.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it is really crazy. Now let's change a little bit. We're not talking about stuff anymore, about buying stuff. We're going to talk about the connections with neighbors, okay? Many Americans have limited interactions with their neighbors here in the United States. And it is true. So Brazil, for example, we treat neighbors as part of our family, okay? So we are close. We know that we can count on them. They can count on us. But here in the United States, it's totally the opposite. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Yes, so I've lived in several homes, 4 or 5 homes in the last 20 years, and in none of the homes did really I go over and hang out with and visit neighbors in their homes and them coming over to my house. It just didn't happen. So here we went to one neighbor's house once, but we've not been to any of the other houses. And I don't think any of our neighbors have ever been, none of
No,
our neighbors have been in
no.
this house. In the old house in Virginia, yeah, it happened a few times. It happened a couple times, but that's over 11 years.
I took a lot of Brazilians there.
Yes. But I can tell you, before I met Maria, the two houses before that, I don't think I ever had neighbors in either one of the two houses. So it's a real problem. People like to have privacy and independence, and that's more important than the sense of community that they would have with their immediate neighbors. Now, sometimes they want to feel this with their neighborhood, which is a little bit larger group, like 50 houses or things like that, or 100 houses. Then people might meet for neighborhood parties or the playground, but not your immediate neighbors.
And in Brazil, for example, you have met a couple of neighbors, my friends' neighbors, and we went to their houses. Just they didn't even know my husband, but they invited him. So if you need something, you knock their doors, hi neighbor, do you have like sugar? Do you have, coffee? Whatever. They are there to help. And you
Yes,
are going to help them as well. So
yes.
it's a really sense of community that we don't have here in the United States. Also, we have little connection with family members here in the United States. So families in the United States often live far apart with limited face-to-face interaction. And sometimes they don't even talk even by phone, or they text each other like we do in Brazil. I still have my family WhatsApp group, and we are every day, sending something or good morning, of course, in Portuguese, bom dia, and talking about something, but here it's not.
Yeah, so I have a couple of family members here in the United States, and I have two sisters, and I have not seen either of the two sisters in at least 3 or 4 years.
It's sad.
I
It's
don't
sad.
even know when I've seen them. It's been at least 4 years.
Yeah, sorry about
Yeah,
that.
it's sad, but that's sort of the
It's
way it
sad.
is. And now people stay in connection with each other by Facebook and by texting. So as a substitute for this, if someone puts a posting on Facebook, oh, we went to Disney World, here are some of the photos, then some relative will say, oh, I'm glad you had a great time. Good to see you guys, as if they really saw them. But really, it's good to see your photo on Facebook, but they're not really seeing the person at all.
Yeah, it's really interesting. And birthday parties over here, pretty much it's just pizza and cupcakes.
Yeah,
Oh,
so our little 6-year-old son, we've been to a number of kids' birthday parties, a couple down here in Florida, and then at least 5 or 6 in Virginia. And it's always the exact same menu. It's always pizza, cupcakes, and then maybe soda or water. But you do not see other kinds of food at all. So pizza
okay.
is at every single party. Pizza is what they serve.
Okay, now how about a Brazilian birthday party?
That's enormous cakes with multiple levels,
Like,
balloons.
and we threw birthday parties for Thomas when his first birthday, his second, his third. It was like huge.
Yeah,
It was like a Brazilian
we
style.
even rented like a country club space.
Yeah, so I love parties, especially birthday parties, because I love decorations. So it's big in Brazil.
Exactly.
Now, storing things in the garage, guys. Here in the United States, pretty much garages are made for stuff, not for cars.
Yeah. So we live in this, nice neighborhood where people have lots of cars, and we know what kind of cars they have because they always leave them in their driveways. And then now that's not every house, but I would say it's 70 or 80%
Yeah.
of the homes. We keep our two cars in the garage, but our neighbors do not. And then we see what's in their garage because they open the garage door, and garages are filled with junk, boxes, workout equipment, golf carts, stuff.
Yes, but no cars.
but not cars.
Yeah, that's really interesting. And aside from that, still have a storage unit. They pay for monthly, a lot of them, because the garage is not, there's not enough space in the garage.
Yeah, people just want to accumulate things and they want to just keep on building. And they have an idea, they'll just purchase another item.
Yeah, that's crazy. Now, tipping, oh my gosh, tipping culture in the USA is like standard in restaurants and other services, often expected at the 15 to 20%. So you go, you get your nails done, pretty much they expect you to, to pay like 15 or 20% tipping. Restaurants, you went to a restaurant and you just paid, how much did you pay? 20?
For the Saturday.
Yes.
So in many cases now, even if you're paying ahead, like we're going to a event this Saturday, a Christmas breakfast and Santa Claus event for our son, they've charged the tip in advance of 22%.
22.
That's right. So even if you're serving yourself, it could be a buffet style. You're charged tips and you're stuck with that. But I think the change that is the most irritating that I personally have a problem with, and many people in this country is now if you buy something at a counter service, like get a cup of coffee or just purchase something, they turn the register around and then they give you the option of adding a bonus tip to the purchase. So it could be something that normally in the past there would never ever be a tip. Like you just go to a bakery and say, "Can I have one croissant? One muffin?" And then they say that's $1.50, and then they give it to you. Then they turn the screen around and say, "Would you like to add 15%, 20%, 25% to the cost of the muffin?"
And what happens if you actually don't give?
Well, you can do that. So you can select no tip when you're at these counter services, but then they turn the screen around and then they can see that you selected no tip. And a lot of people are basically embarrassed and they don't leave the tip off. I don't like to give tips for counter service because frankly, they don't really deserve a tip. It's not like you're getting service at a restaurant and it's built into the price of the item. But now there's an expectation that they ask for tips and a lot of people do pay.
Now, for you guys, for you that are listening to this podcast and also watching us on YouTube, let us know in the comments, how is in your country? Do you have to tip when you go out on a restaurant, or when you get your nails done in a hair salon, or so do you do that or not? And then also, how is anything that you want to show that is different from what we are telling, just write down in the comments for us, because I would love to know how is in your country. Now, the next one that we want to talk about is about drive-through convenience.
Yes, that's right. So in the United States, people are so busy and are so pressed for time, essentially meals and other items that you can get just by driving through a window is the preference. So now every restaurant, plus things like even getting your prescriptions.
Coffee, right?
Coffee or your prescriptions.
Oh, yeah,
Prescriptions like stores like CVS and Walgreens, you can drive up and pick up your medical prescriptions.
Bank, also go to the bank.
Yeah, banks have drive-through, but especially with fast food. So people see themselves saving time by driving up to a window, getting their fast food, and then eating while they're driving, or taking it home and then eating it at home.
Yeah, it's crazy. We are talking about coffee, that we have drive-through even for coffee over here.
Yes.
For drinks. There are an obsession with ice in drinks over here that is unbelievable. I grew up pretty much drinking like room temperature water. For example, here it's mostly ice and then a little bit of water.
Yes, and because everyone seems to like ice, when you order a drink, they fill the cup to the top with ice, and then they put not really a lot of drink in it. So you have to actually say light ice or no ice, because you're going to end up buying a drink that's going to be 80% ice and just 20% of the drink in it. And even, things like coffee. iced coffee, cold coffee, ice for everything. So ice is the way people like all their drinks.
And here, because it's a place where it's a fast-paced place, everything is really fast over here. So you want things fast, time is money, right? People also have 24/7 availability of services over here. Let's talk a little bit about that.
That's right. So let's say you want to work out, you want at your gymnasium, 24-hour gym. So you could do a workout at 2 o'clock in the morning, or whether it's you want to buy something in the supermarket. Supermarkets are open, many of them till midnight or 1 or 2. You stop by, you pick up your groceries. Other stores are open very late, and they encourage people, they want people to be able to come at these odd hours, these different hours to buy items, and it's all about customer convenience. I think also because of the long commutes and the working that people have to do is maybe they can only go grocery shopping or go to the gym at 5 o'clock in the morning. So the stores and gyms have to be open so that people can go there at really strange hours overnight.
Yeah, this I would not say that is totally different from Brazil because we do have 24/7 gyms there. And I would say that some supermarkets are opened until midnight. So that's not that different from Brazil. And then now let's talk about the food portion sizes over here. So we are not going to go to the like sizes of people, okay? Just sizes of portions.
That's right. So yesterday is an example. So I was out, so I bought us our lunch at a very nice local place called Mr. Delicious Pizza. So give them here a plug on the internet. Yeah, we should hashtag them and
Hashtag.
Mr. Delicious. Well, they had a really terrific spaghetti with chicken parmesan. And I asked them, and I ordered one serving that came with a salad. And I said, is this for one person or two? And they said, oh, two people could eat that. And so then I only bought one. And then I came home, and as it turns out, it was two huge portions within one portion. So after I split it in half, it still was a very large lunch for each of us. And it was only one serving. They had two enormous pieces of chicken and a pile of spaghetti that was so big that it really could feed like a family.
Yeah, and not just lunches like that, but if you go in the supermarket, you buy like big packets of Doritos,
Right.
Ruffles.
Right.
Yeah, so it's really crazy. A big container of peanut butter, of jelly.
Yes.
Everything is so
Yes.
exagerado.
Every type of, if you want to get nuts, you like cashews, it's an enormous bag of nuts. It's so all of the packages, serving sizes, fast food sizes, and even restaurants. If you were to order in many restaurants, the amount that's on your plate is way more than a person can eat.
Yep, that's really interesting. And let's talk now about holiday decorations because we are in the holiday seasons over here.
Happy holidays.
It's gonna be Christmas soon. So Americans go all out for holiday decorations, and from Halloween to Christmas, they just do that huge decoration. We have here around our neighborhood houses that have a lot of decorations. And during the nights, actually, it looks nice though. I like it.
Yeah, so there's a lot of lights hanging on the houses. And then the thing that has been more and more common, I would say for 5 or 6 years, certainly the last couple is the most, is blow up decorations. So now for any type of holiday, whether it's Halloween or Thanksgiving or Christmas, people will buy inflatable Santa Claus, inflatable reindeer, inflatable Christmas items, and then they blow them up, and then they're enormous. They could be, 8, 10, 12 feet, and they're on their lawn. And then, interestingly, maybe they're on a timer or something like that, but then they deflate or the air comes out of them during the day, and then they're basically flat on the lawn. But then once it's dark the next day, then they fill up again, and then they're on their lawn.
Do you think is that more because of consumerism here in the United States, or do you think people really embrace the holiday spirit or like that sense, of celebration?
Well, it's probably a combination, but I think that the trend has been toward consumerism and just, frankly, doing more than your neighbors. I think there's competition to have like the best light show, and many people have written and talked about this for years, but the true meanings of Christmas for family, and if someone's of the Christian faith, what it means to them in terms of their faith, I think has been overtaken by consumerism, gift giving, and decorations, which have become more common than the basic reasons for the holiday.
Yeah. So, but and then what happens is that after that, a lot of people they even throw away, a lot of their decorations because then the next year, what they're gonna do? They're gonna buy new decorations. That comes with our throwaway culture.
Yes, that's right. So because many of these consumer items have become so cheap, you could decorate your entire lawn for, $200, and have 4 or 5 different blow up items, and strings of lights that you might hang on your house are no more than $15 each at the most. So with costs like that, people can easily decorate their house with completely different decorations one year from the next. And we're trying to save our decorations that we have. We don't have items out in our outside the same as our neighbors, but for our inside Christmas decorations, we've got a nice little rainstorm here. It's beautiful and coming down outside. So we're trying to not waste the items and throw things away like a lot of other people do.
Yeah, in fact, I think this our Christmas tree is like 2 years old now, or
Yeah, so we bought our tree from a Sam's Club, I think, and we bought it 2, maybe 3 years ago, but it's in perfect shape. It has wonderful lights on it that can be colored or they can be white lights. So there's no reason to get another tree. But we know people like our friend Sherry, for example, she has at least 6 trees in her house. Yeah, and when you've seen her decoration.
because she's gonna watch this.
Yeah.
Okay, if she's gonna watch, so yeah, she likes to have a
Yes.
lot.
So good for her.
She's a
So
good she's a good friend.
yes. So she loves decorations and her house is really well decorated, but we won't say her last name.
All right, guys. So that's it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed being with us, watching this video, and also listen to our podcast. And don't forget to like and share this video, and also share our podcast. We are on Podbean, on Apple Podcasts, and also on Spotify. So just share if you like it. And if you don't like it as well, so give us the feedback, and we also will try our best to become better, to show other ways we're going to improve, because that's the beauty about. We are always improving. We want to give you guys the best.
That's right.
The best always.
And we'll be back more times before the Christmas holiday here in this country, but we also want to extend a special holiday greetings to people from every faith across the world, whatever your religious beliefs or your faith is, your conviction. We wish you the best and happy holidays to all folks, all cultures. Please come back and see us again and again because we appreciate all of your comments and views.
So that's it for today. And remember, it's about immersion, not perfection. Bye, guys.
Bye.